History with Larry.
All right, Larry.
All right.
We got a little something for you. Before you get started, though, we got an email from Isaac, and it's like 3 emails. But I'll read them all because they're really short. There's like text messages. But he was saying that funny that I actually knew about that, and I'm post 2000. He's talking about Civilian Conservation Corps.
Yeah.
And then he said, also, the 2 reasons it was started was to employ the unemployed, and to reverse the effects of the Dust Bowl.
Right. Yeah, that was one. Yeah, that's right. I forgot. That's one of the. I did read that.
Right. And then he said, and not many people know about the Dust Bowl.
Yeah, that was
Isn't
actually
that like a college football game?
Yeah,
the Dust Bowl.
You think so, but no. It was actually because of very intense and I would say poor agricultural practices. They depleted the topsoil in the Midwest, and they had a drought. And then because of the drought, of course, loose soil,
right?
It just blew away and caused this tremendous dust storm.
Yes,
all throughout the Midwest.
It was. The pictures looked terrible.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I didn't live through it, but
I barely. I just missed it.
Did you?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that old.
No. So okay, well, speaking for this week, do you got the Dust Bowl for us?
I do not, but that would have been a good one. No, this one I went old school this time. I got paper.
Yes, you do.
For reasons beyond my control, somewhat. But anyway, it's a long story. We won't go into that one. This one, I didn't know how to title this one. This is kind of a unique story. Not really well-known history, but it's kind of funny. It's either going to be the first recorded aviation accident, or the alchemist that scammed a king. So, both of them fit, and you'll see.
Sure.
So, this takes place in Stirling Castle in Scotland. And I could do a Scottish accent, but it wouldn't come out very well, so I won't. So
your ancestors are Irish, not Scottish.
I know they are. Yeah. Anyway, this the king was King James IV of Scotland. This was before King James of the King James Bible.
Oh, okay, sure.
Anyway, he reigned from 1488 to 1513. So you might be thinking, well, I thought you said this was an aviation accident. But we'll get to that.
They flew over the ramparts?
Yes. No. But we'll get to that. But King James was interested in science. There's the whole, scientific surgeons and alchemy.
Yes. You might want to explain what alchemy is.
Yeah, alchemy was the idea that they were trying to find a way to transmutate base metals like lead or iron into gold. And actually, there's a mythological object they called the Philosopher's Stone. Mm-hmm. That was the key that would unlock this mystery of how to.
Right.
And whoever could do that, you'd have untold riches because you could take, a simple metal and turn it into gold.
And then you'd have the Midas touch.
Right. Or the theory was if you could find that and mix it with wine, that would be the elixir of life.
Okay.
So, like the fountain of youth.
Sure.
But,
But alas.
It didn't work.
No.
Nobody found it. Well, and I would say partly it was based on some probability. Like if you took copper and you melted it down and mixed tin in with it.
Sure.
You get, I think it's brass or bronze, one of them. Tin and zinc. Copper, tin, and zinc makes bronze, one of them, or brass. I don't remember. But anyway, you could take those metals and make them into another metal. But that's more of an alloy that we'd call today. So you didn't actually change the copper. You just added to it. So anyway.
And you definitely don't take lead and make gold out of it.
No. Yeah, that didn't happen.
I thought this was history, not science.
I know. We're getting way off topic here. But anyway, King James invited this guy. His name was John Damian.
John Damian.
Yeah, he was Italian, but he also, not much is known about him other than he did study medicine in France for a time. But he was an alchemist. Okay. And the king of Scotland was interested in the science, whether to further his riches or to be the first one in history to finance this scheme.
Sure.
But I'm not sure. But anyway, the king actually built a laboratory for Damian as part of the castle and funded him.
Wow.
They actually spent a lot of money.
Well,
the
because
king
if
did.
you're going to get gold,
Oh
you
yeah,
could finance
it's worth
it.
the investment.
That's
It's sort of
right.
like, if you want to win the lottery, all you got to do is spend like $100 million.
That's right. That's right.
And you can win the lottery.
That's it.
Obviously, and John Damon kept up the facade of he was working on it.
Because he knew he couldn't do it.
I think so.
Okay.
But he didn't want to give up the gig he had because the king was financing this, so he's getting paid. Plus, he has a laboratory and he has an expense account and supplies.
Supplies.
Yes, he had a very specific need for his experiments, and one of those.
Because gold?
No. No. It was how do they say in Latin? It was
Carpe diem?
aqua vital,
Oh, water life.
the water of
Water
life,
of life.
commonly called whiskey.
Oh, yes.
Oh. Okay.
They spent buku bucks on whiskey, and he said that was for his much needed
Study.
experiments
Oh,
and studies.
sure.
Yes, so they had a. They actually.
Hey, if you're going to die young, you might as well go out on top, right?
In fact, the king spent so much money. What the court poet, his name was, I had it here, William Dunbar. He referred to Damian as the French leech.
Yes.
So he was mooching off the king. Well, anyway, it seemed like after several years that Damian obviously couldn't produce any gold.
You don't say.
Yeah, and he didn't want to lose favor from the king, so he switched his emphasis on flight because he read Leonardo da Vinci's book, A Codex of Birds. Was that the name of it? I had it here. What was it? The Codex on the Flight of Birds. And Damian thought,
Sounds interesting.
if birds can use wings to fly, so can I.
Oh, boy.
So
Let's see where this is going.
he set out to.
Does he know that birds' bones are hollow?
Well, he wanted to impress the king to be the first man to fly.
Did he drink some whiskey before?
I think he did. So he got some eagle's feathers, which, if you're going to make some wings, you might as well use a big bird like eagles.
Sure.
But he mixed them with chicken wings as well, or
What?
chicken feathers. He mixed in
okay.
chicken feathers. I guess because
So what do you
chickens, it's easier to get chicken feathers than eagle feathers,
I mean, I guess is what you have. You got to go with what you got. Okay.
You go, yeah. So he made his wings, and
Ooh, sounds good.
yeah. So he told the king, he goes, "I'm going to fly, and I'm going to fly from Stirling Castle in Scotland all the way to France." So he set an ambitious
Oh,
goal.
no.
I don't think so, Jim.
Yeah. Don't think so.
So on December 27th in 1507, he climbed the highest wall of the castle,
Oh, what an idiot.
and he launched himself into history.
Oh, boy.
Yep. And his flight was just as successful as his alchemy was. And
Splat.
his flight he flew straight down to the ground,
Yes.
70 feet.
Yeah.
But the funny part was,
Oh, but there's a funny part.
yeah,
Okay.
he landed in the castle's dung heap,
Oh, my goodness.
which softened his...
Did he survive it?
He did.
Oh, wow.
He ended up just he broke a leg, but he survived. And
Is that where the term break a leg comes from?
I don't know. But he ended up
still
in
there.
that's funny. He ended up, of all places, in the dung heap. And
So did he try again?
no, he never did. And
Did they
he
ship
told
him
the
off?
king he realized his mistake
Oh.
was he used the chicken feathers because he realized
Chickens don't fly.
Right.
Of course.
So that was his mistake.
That was it.
What a dope.
Yeah. So John Damian, the first recorded aviation accident in
Yes.
history.
You sure it
15
was a dung heap or was that just the aftermath?
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, well,
Anyway.
thanks for that aviation disaster.
Yes.
And that was interesting. Poor John Damian.
Yeah. So the alchemist who tried to fly.